truly beautiful. Let's really get after it today, guys. Going to the gym. Alright guys, what's up? It's me again, Gabriel, aka Pink Llama. Pink Llama was my nickname in high school actually, but I'll do a little bit of a story time. I'll say this, I had a great workout, I had a great day. I did a lot of CT stuff, we broke some CTs, fixed them right up. And now they're good as new, except good as new as in they were made in 2004. So as good as you can be, 18 years later. Or they could have been made in the early days of January, so they could be 17 in a couple of days, or like 19. But I don't know. I don't know the exact specifications about the CTs. I just work on them. I don't know them intimately. I don't know their birthdays or stuff like that. But let's do a story time. Something nice, short, simple. I'll tell you a little bit about when I joined the Army, the United States Armed Forces, if you will. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had just flunked out of college. Not really, I didn't flunk out. I just got such bad grades that they asked me not to come back. Which, if you call that flunking, or if you call that just taking the scenic route to taking 5 years of school, I don't know. But, yes, I got such poor grades. I was far more concerned with extracurriculars involving substances and people and fun than my studies about the Lord Jesus Christ. I know that surprises you, but that stuff is very enticing, and I was enticed, and I was enticed, and I was an enticee. I was enticed by the enticer. But so anyway, I couldn't go back to my school. They had given me an email saying you are banned for 3 semesters. So we count them out. That's the summer semester, the fall semester, and the winter semester. So I was able to go back in about a year. But I was like, man, so what am I going to do for a year? I guess I'm going to go get a job. And so I got a job at this restaurant called Roberts Crossing in Salem, Oregon. It was kind of near the White Ridge part of town. It's pretty cool. It was near a couple of golf courses. A couple rich old white people would come by, and they would eat at the restaurant. So that was where I worked. I worked as a hostess, and I'll give you my best acting. Hi! I'm Gabriel. Welcome to Roberts Crossing. See, now don't you feel hosted? But I was real bad at my job. The host only has a certain amount of jobs. Making sure that we have a space available, or there's your reservation. Let me see you. Let me get you water. Let me get you bread, and let me tell your server that they have customers. Right? So really only three, 4 things. I did great at the first thing, I'd be like, oh, it's packed right now and you don't have a reservation and you want 8 people at a nice restaurant. And I'm looking at, all of them, some of them are this size. I'm like, are all of you over 21? Because I knew the answer. Our bar was empty, but they were not going to be able to go there. Infants and all. So, but, all right, sweet, I'll set you. I'll set you right up. Man, the amount of times that I didn't give anybody water, didn't give anybody bread, and I didn't tell their waiter or waitress, man, they were sitting there for 45 minutes with nothing. And so I worked there for a couple of months, and I had fun. I thought it was fun. I was joking around with my coworkers. They're all fun. But then I went to church one day, and I saw my friend Brendan, say that he was joining the Marines in front of church. I was like, dang, I could do that. I could join the military. And at this time, just so you know, I don't know that there's different branches. I don't know. I think they're all just one military. And so I go, okay, I go to my mom, be like, blah, blah, blah. You think I should join the military? And she was like, sure. And then we drove. So if that was Sunday, we drove that Monday to the recruiter, did all the stuff. And then I asked the questions. He asked me questions. He said, all right, so what you in for? And I say, I'd like to join, please. And he's like, sweet. All right, now what are you thinking? Active duty, reserves? And I say, I'd say I'm a pretty active person. I'm not very reserved. I'm a pretty open book. And he goes, sweet, active duty. all right, now are you thinking for jobs? You talking about combat or support? What are you feeling? And I went, I support combat. I'm all for it if it's needed. If we need to combat, the enemies, I'm all for it. And he goes, wow, we have got one on our hands. And of course, I didn't know this, but those are stupid answers. I didn't know what I was doing. And he goes, okay, all right, I can see you're very eager to join, but we got to make sure that you fit the Army's bill. And so he obviously thinks I'm an idiot. I don't know anything about this military, and the questions that I just answered were awful. I had no idea. And so I take this little practice test, and I score very high. And he goes, oh, wow, okay. He's like, if you score this high, you can have any job you want. And I was like, okay. And so then I have a date, and I talk to the recruiter. Remember, he sent me on my merry way. He had to give me an appointment for the military enlisting processing, whatever, MEPS. And so I have a date. It's like 3 days from there. So then I'm pretty ready. So I go to my boss at the restaurant that I worked at, and I give him my 2-week notice, and I say, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm joining the Army. And he said, oh my goodness, I am so thankful for you and your potential service. And I'm thankful that you're telling me because, man, we were gonna fire you. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you are probably one of the worst workers that I've ever had. And I was like, man, is it because of all those, those glasses that I shattered? All that bread that I didn't give, all that water I didn't give, all those people that I never served? And he's like, yep. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. And so then I work for a couple more weeks, and then I go to MEPS, take the ASVAB, flying colors, and then I ship off, 2 weeks later. But it turns out I'm not the only dumb person that joined the military, if that's hard to believe. Another one, there's a guy in my platoon who went to me and said, hey, where's the ocean or the lake near Oklahoma? And I was like, I don't think there is none. He's like, what kind of Navy is this? And I was like, the Navy? We're in the Army, bro. And he said, huh? And I was like, what do you mean, huh? And he was like, nah, dude, I totally joined the Navy. And I was like, okay, explain. And he was like, no, I went to the Navy recruiter, but the Navy recruiter was busy. And so the Army recruiter took me in and said he'd fill out my Navy paperwork for me. And he would send it to the Navy guy. And I was like, And he was like, yeah. And so I thought that I was joining the Navy the whole time. And I was like, man, you got duped. But hey, maybe we've all been duped. All right, guys, thank you so much.